black lumps of furniture, prickling my cheeks. My heart sped up, hearing the soft pad of footsteps move across the shadowy parquet floor and down the old cellar stairs. My sister Simone was asleep upstairs, and Martine would never be so delicate. She didn't know how to tiptoe, and that's what scared me. We'd had intruders before. Bad French who knew there wasn't a man in the house must have come back to steal whatever jewels the Germans had yet to take. That's what everyone called the collaborators. Bad French. The good French kept to themselves and would never do business with a German. I lit a candle, walking the few steps through the main salon to the cellar. A crash under the floor shook me with a gasp. Glass and falling crates? I followed the noise with my eyes, knowing whoever it was had walked the length of the house to the coal chute before stomping back over to the stairs, making their way up. Thump, thump, thump. I set the candle down, reaching for Martine's beloved porcelain vase, the only thing big enough to crack a skull. She'd be angry when she found out that's what I used, and as I lifted the vase, I regretted not having enough time to search for something else. 6 steps left. 5, 4, 3, 2. I grunted, flinging my arms over my head to get enough momentum as Martine threw open the cellar door, screaming at the sight of me. Ah! She covered her head with her arms. What are you doing? I collapsed against the wall, nearly dropping the vase. Me? I asked. What are you doing? I thought you were an intruder. I asked you first. Martine watched me struggle against the wall, trying to breathe after the scare, before noticing what was in my hands. And my vase? She took it gingerly from my fingers to carefully set it back on the side table. Gaby, how could you? I'm sorry. It was the only thing. I stood straight, noticing her dirty fingernails in a flick of light, and a smear of dirt on her cheek. What are you up to? I glanced once at the cellar door, then back to Martine. What's down there? No, don't, she said when I reached for the doorknob. And if there was one thing I knew about my little sister, it was that when she asked me not to do something, it usually meant she was hiding something. What are you up to? She crossed her arms. Nothing. Something, I said, reaching for the doorknob again, but she threw her back up against the door. You've been at the cliffs again, haven't you? She chewed her thumbnail. Are you hiding a boy? My eyes narrowed, and she shook her head, but I didn't believe her, not with how vigorously she was chewing on that thumbnail. You know what the penalty is for keeping a boy from the factories? It's not that. She pulled her thumb from her teeth. And nobody saw me, she added, making my stomach swirl like a pot of cold soup. She had done something, and I was immediately reminded of when we'd fled from Paris and why. I covered my mouth. Don't do that, Gaby. Don't make that face. A lorry rumbled down our road, and we both turned toward the front door. In the dark, in the night, in occupied France, we'd been trained to know the difference between a lost lorry and a German one on a mission. The engine glugged instead of hummed, and the speed was recklessly fast, followed by a lurching stop. Doors opened and closed, and mounting footsteps walked the pavement in heavy boots. 2, she breathed, and I shushed her. 3, 4, I said, before pulling back the curtains. They're speaking with Antoinette. I saw shadows and our neighbour holding a candle as she stepped out into the night, lighting up her face and her fast-moving lips. After a brief conversation with her shaking her head,